Hi everybody, Woody here from Dive Talk. So you may have seen my first episode of me putting together my long hose configuration. Look, that pink is beautiful. Look how nice that is. Remember I said you could pull it? You had to pull it tighter. Isn't that cool? Here's my long hose. My bolt snap is on there perfectly with this thing. And somebody saw the video from Germany, and that person is Achim, and I'm only imagining that he saw it and is here to compliment me. It was probably the pink that he loves, but he has a few suggestions, and I'm open-minded, and I'm like, I wonder what those are. Just a couple, probably just a couple changes. So we are going to Achimize my long hose in this video.
Nice.
All right.
You proud of me? Or
yeah, absolutely. I especially like the antennas.
So this side is no-go? Okay. That's
all the way from Munich to Florida to fix these things that caused headaches. So let's just...
Where do we start?
Yeah, that's the question. Where do we start? How much time do we have? How much battery does this camera have?
I worked hard on this.
How about we start with, did he do anything right?
Well,
if you turn this on,
well, it's a long hose. So
nice.
that's the good point. Now let's talk about the rest.
Okay, but first, in all seriousness, first of all, we do like the long hose configuration. Forget about mine a second. Why do you like it? And then I want you to explain the changes you're gonna make. I know you're gonna make them, and the why, because actually, all kidding aside, he did reach out to me, less than happy with what I did, and he said there are reasons for these changes that he makes. And after I heard the reasons, I'm like, yeah, we need to Achimize it. So with that, why do you like the long hose, and why are you gonna make these changes?
Okay, so generally speaking, a lot of people put a lot of meaning into this long hose system that's not there. So the general idea of the long hose is that you donate a regulator that you know is working because you're breathing it, and that also means you're donating the gas that you know is the correct one. I mean, now we talk recreational, so that should be obvious, but you can still think about bad gas, like carbon monoxide or something like that. So somebody has an issue and you know your gas is good. So I'm not necessarily talking about technical diving, different oxygen content, stuff like that. So we still talk recreational diving. So but nevertheless, long hose means it has to be, I mean, it's a 2 meter 10, 7 feet long hose. So that needs to be configured in a way that it's not getting entangled, not getting messed up, not starting to become a hazard, and at the same time should be easy to release in case you have to. And then obviously what you're gonna breathe is your necklace, and you want to make sure that necklace is where it should be, like right here. And in my opinion, it should be positioned in a way where you could even take it without your hands, right? Like I could just get it in. It should not dangle somewhere around.
Like I would just be able to do that?
Exactly.
Mine was usually lower.
And normally,
but that's where you have the adjustable, the genius of the adjustable.
Well,
that's basically what caused nightmares for me.
When I saw the video of the guy who I copied this from, let's say you're having a problem, I put this, I just pull this, and I'm gonna have this thing right top and take care of you.
That's a different. That's
You're
a gag strap.
Achimize
That's a different hobby.
So just to remind you what I did, I have 2 zip ties. I added this. I made it a little thicker so it's comfortable. You know that amazing video you have of tying a bolt snap? I just shortcutted it with this rubber thing that you said would easily break off and be useless.
You just heard somebody talking about it and you didn't watch it. That's the thing.
Well, yes.
All right, so while you guys get ready to make all the changes and stuff, one of the comments that I saw a lot is, why are you idiots? Well, I added that, but they said, why are you guys using the long hose configuration on a recreational BCD? You should only use a backplating wing. It's not you could, it's you should.
Well, one thing about me is I do not like the word only, and it has to be my way in diving, because you know what? Number one, what if I really like to dive this? What if it feels really good in the ocean when I jump off a boat? I happen to love this BCD and it fits me perfectly. Is it okay to use a long hose on a recreational BC? I mean, what do you think?
That was actually the one of the few things that I liked on this video, was the fact that, yeah, I like this idea and I apply it to my configuration. So I didn't like the way you put these things together.
I think he said he liked what you said.
I know, because you like orange and I like pink. I don't understand that part.
So I mean, we could switch. We could still switch to a pink backplate,
This
but
is orange.
so I don't want to go too deep into this backplate or non-backplate thing. In my opinion, nobody ever put a backplate on you and adjusted it the right way. So actually, that's something we're gonna fix. But yes, I mean, I think the longhorse configuration is a great improvement, and of course you can dive it in this configuration. As I said, it's just a matter of setting it up in a way that makes sense and that makes it easily accessible, and it has to work if you need it. It's not like, now I have a longhorse but I have no idea how to deploy it, and if I want to deploy it, it doesn't work because it's stuck somewhere. That's something that we have to avoid. And so looking at this setup, there is quite a few things that should be better. So let's have a look at that.
Awesome.
So just for the viewers, I mean, we have, you see these bungee loops here. So that was to dive it together with the Go rebreather. So that's something that's usually not here, so just ignore it.
We pull this forward and clip on our rebreather, our Go, for the bottom part. So
and that's
all this is for.
Yeah, also these bolt snaps. So ignore that. That's
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Not the BCD, because I know people will be, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
So the first thing for me is the configuration of the first stage. So these hoses basically go right to your neck, so I think they're in the way, and that also leads to like hoses making loops. So generally speaking, and I know people will be like, yeah, it's a tech diving again, it's a tech diving. It's not about tech diving, it's about the fact that there's a lot of things that were developed in technical diving that we can apply to recreational diving to make it safer, easier, and being more streamlined always helps. I hear all these people like, yeah, it doesn't matter that I have a hose loop like 1 meter above my head because I'm not doing overhead or penetration. It doesn't matter. You can still get entangled on a boat ladder, on a crowded dive site, like 10
on
people.
Another diver.
Yeah, another diver, like a safety stop. There's a lot of people that do not have the control and wiggle around, stuff like that. And I mean, the more streamlined you are, the less water you break, the less effort you have moving through the water. So that's always a benefit. And when you look at the setup, I mean, think about it like a pyramid. So you want it to break as the smallest amount of water. So for example, when you talk about, let's say, a pony bottle or a light canister, you want this as far down as possible because it will streamline it instead of being boxy, if that makes sense. So when you look at that, usually I at least try to configure the hose setup with something like a Scuba Pro Mark 25. It's not about the Scuba Pro. I know there's plenty of manufacturers out there that have a similar stage, like Deep 6, for example. Yesterday I had one that was the same thing, and
this is a Deep 6. It's just their yoke.
Yeah. So there is a port outlet, and then you can actually tilt this a little bit, and the hose comes out here and goes all the way down and around instead of going like that, right?
But what if they don't have that? That's the thing.
Yeah,
they don't.
That's what I'm saying.
We have to go out and buy a whole new regulator.
No, they don't have to. It works, but I'm just coming from what would be ideal.
Okay.
And if we don't have that, of course you can configure it every first stage in a way that it works. So for example, what I really like is the fact that inflator hose is the exact right length. It doesn't make some weird loop and then somehow goes down there. It's the exact right length. That's what we want to achieve, right? This is a dry suit hose, yeah. And again, it doesn't have to be long.
I was hoping you didn't see that.
Just goes in here, and it's nice and easy configure. I also like the fact that you basically stored it in this kind of pocket, so it's not flapping around if you don't use it. I mean, I would prefer to take it off and plug the hole, but it is what it is. And that's a high
But
pressure.
remember, I'm actually using it for the go, and they may not realize that I have to have another
Sure.
low pressure hose to plug in.
If it's for the go, shouldn't it be on the other?
It should be.
It should be on the other side, right?
But just to reiterate what you said, Achim, is in this case the first stage that Woody has allows for that, routing of the hose going down. But the point is to always look for the most efficient, most streamlined configuration, regardless of the brand or model or whatever you have.
Exactly.
Yes.
So don't just go and buy a brand because you want the hose to go a certain way. Just work with what you have and try to make it as streamlined as possible.
That. I really love that.
But if you go and buy gear, then have this in the back of your head.
Right.
I wish we had one of them, like the Deep 6 DIN, where they could see that fifth port.
Well, we can probably add one in the video.
I would love
just a picture.
to see what you're talking about, because it really is nicer. It would make the hoses go straight down.
I have a video on my channel where it's all about hose configuration and how to set this up. So
I'm going to watch that next time.
My doubles are right behind there, and you can see it.
All right, so as we are on the back of this wonderful van, and it's spaced literally everything in it. So we have Gus's gear here, which actually is configured the way I think that should be. And there you have these first stages with that additional outlet on the bottom.
Is that what they would refer to as the fifth port? Because we're using a lot of words that people may not understand. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And there you see that the long hose actually goes more or less straight down, so there's no loop here. So this is all, you don't see any hoses sticking out. And so this
If mine was like this, would you like me as much as you like us? Do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Once I get my hose correct?
Yeah, and then the back plate, and we'll
going to be
there.
Achimized.
We'll get there.
Unless you get the sticker going.
Yeah, I mean,
that is nice.
That's clearly something that's missing.
No one gave me one, but I'm going to be Achimized, so that's fine.
And so, yeah, you see all the hoses are configured in a way that nothing's sticking out. That's basically what we want to achieve. That would be the ideal. But as we said before, of course, if you have a first stage that doesn't have that outlet, well, it is what it is, and we have to work with it. So that's what we're going to do now. So the thing is, we should be able to drill a couple of additional holes in that first stage, so we could reconfigure these hoses, which we can't. That would be a video.
What?
But this is a typical. A lot of people have a yoke first stage like this, and we still like the long hose. So I want you to do what you said. We got to work with what we have.
Yes. So, I mean, it's not about the yoke. It would be the same if that would be a DEMA,
it would
right?
be.
So,
it would be.
So people don't misunderstand.
But it doesn't have a fifth port.
So one of the things that I would do immediately, I would move this over here, because if you reach back and want to reach your valve, this is really, really in the way. You agree with that?
100%.
And we also agree that you have to be able to manipulate your own gas source.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, and I talked about this before. Again, it's not about I'm in a cave and I have a roll-off. You can have a roll-off in open water, like going underneath a line. You have some clown closing your valve before you jump in the water, and I had that twice. And you want to be able to reach back and,
somebody could jump in, for example, even experienced divers, and forget to turn their tank on. I've actually seen that. It's mind-boggling, but it does happen.
I had this also. High current dive, negative entry, and the dive master was checking my gas, and everybody's was closed, so he opened it. Mine was open, so he closed. It was just going in and not good. So you reach back, you want to open this, so you don't want this in the way. And if you reach back, you will touch this thing.
Now I love that, right? That is that amazing why, and you just may not think about it, but there's no question I would be where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
And if your tank is closed, there wouldn't be any pressure on that, so you'll probably take off your transmitter. And if you open your tank, then it will leak.
Oh my God, that's really funny and true.
So that would be the first thing that I do. Okay. I mean,
but we're going to do it. We're going to move this over there. Okay.
With the other hoses, as we figured out, we don't want to drill additional holes in that first stage. There's not much we can do, right? No. So the hose length is...
We have a drill.
Okay.
Well, he could give me back my...
Wouldn't that be awesome?
He could give me back my fifth port regulators. He could let me have them back. It would help. But.
No, but I think we want to show that this is possible with another first stage.
Yes.
So, I mean, also it's not ideal. It's probably great to demonstrate that this is good.
Yes.
So now we just want to talk about the accessories. So I see quite a few things beside these loops that I don't like. So I mean, it starts with this. I mean, unless you want to look like ET on a mission with these things sticking out.
It's soft. It's pink.
First of all, it's too thick. It's super stiff. So you want that to be more flexible. And then obviously you don't want this additional tie wrap here. And
Wait, wasn't that your nickname in high school? Super stiff?
Well, that's why I'm optimizing my long hose.
so we're gonna
Get what I'm
take this
talking
off.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
My whole
I'll get another
whole
I'll get some
explanation.
tools and get this off.
doesn't hurt my neck at all. Now
And
it's gonna be.
take a softer one, and then we'll just configure it in a way
Okay.
that it fits, because it's your regulator. It's not like it's a rental that has to fit everybody.
Yeah.
And even
Okay,
then,
we're gonna
there
get
is
rid of
like,
it.
I mean, unless somebody has like the super thick neck or whatever, this will. So let me just, before we.
Being optimized. Let's do it. Even my knot. The only one and only one I use. Bye bye.
So
that's garbage,
This
is what you're
this
saying.
can go on eBay.
Okay.
Oh,
Woody's previous
Step one of my
necklace.
video. It's gone. There's my second zip tie.
So
Gone.
this goes as well, and then we actually take a pair of pliers and break this zip tie, and then make a necklace that goes underneath here.
All being done
Yeah.
by the mouthpiece, and the necklace is one zip tie.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
that's one thing. So that's probably that's the first thing we're gonna do. I'll just close this knife so nobody gets hurt.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gone.
All right. So now, of course, we have this in the right color.
Okay. And it is pink. That part I did right. And it's
So
spongy.
it's actually great that you have that sleeve on, so it adds a
Okay.
little bit. So what we do is do it like this.
And the reason is because you want the regulator. I've seen you say this before, where I don't even have to touch it. You're saying you want it where I could just
Yeah.
literally move my head down and breathe. So that's an important why.
All right.
Okay.
So we have a lighter somewhere.
I need another zip tie as well. If it works.
Okay. So now we make an 8 knot.
What kind of knot?
8.
I usually use the 4, but that's fine.
how many knots do you know?
Not the knot.
Just
You
one.
know that one?
It always works.
You and I have been tying that. Has it ever come undone? The one, boom, and the boom.
I don't even know why anybody invented another one.
Yeah.
Well,
German over-engineering.
but there's other videos where he actually does show you these knots, and again, even there's a Y on that knot, and I think the Y is that knot's not going to come out. He's going to
Well,
tighten
yeah,
it
it's a
and-
little bit more more beefy, so to speak, because we don't want it to slip underneath that tie wrap, right? Especially as
because it's pulling,
the bungee tends to.
and you're going to burn the end of this to singe this knot down, right?
No, actually, it was that you can only do with the K-line, but we don't want this to like
you
come
wouldn't
apart and you
frame.
have all
So you wouldn't do that.
the fabric out there.
Oh.
So saw that I just tried to pull it close and it just reopened. So that's the problem with the bungee, and that's obviously what we don't want. So
Okay.
okay. So now we need another tie wrap. Start this, and now put this in there. Put this to the side. So it's flexible, so it's not gonna like choke you. And now this one,
We'll try it on in a second.
let's see. Achim with new tools, that's awesome.
How about that?
We have that tool.
All right, so now,
All right, this is just, let me see. Right, this is going to be just like this. Easy. I mean, it is right there.
yeah, that's where you want it.
That's pretty nice. I'm going to give you that so far. That's really nice.
And as
nice
it's thinner material,
I miss this
It
a
has
little, but I'm going
the
to give
flexibility you want, but you don't want it to be a lot off, right?
That's
and
right.
as it's thinner material, it doesn't choke you. It's not uncomfortable.
you. No.
Good. Okay, so now we have the necklace fixed. Now we talk about the first stage. So there's all these discussions going on if this has to be a breakaway or non-breakaway, and so I don't like the breakaway because usually it breaks when it shouldn't. So it's Murphy's law, and you don't need the breakaway. There's a long video that I made about it, so we don't have to go through that in detail here. But why would you need a breakaway? So this thing is clipped when you go to the water, so when you're not breathing it, it is clipped off. So that's a recreational setup. So you're not going to be on another gas or something like that. So now you enter the water, you unclip it, you breathe it. So the dive is over. You go up the ladder, you go in the bowl, you clip it off. So there's no portion of the dive where this is clipped off and you want to donate it, right? So why would I? The other thing is, I always teach that the one hand should go between the second stage and the clip. So now, even if it is clipped off here, I could still breathe it.
I love that.
And even worst case, for those who don't believe it, you could breathe it.
That's pretty awesome.
So this thing is just, it will slide, right? Wherever. And oh man, I would love to cut this, but I'm not allowed to.
There's that part. Well, nothing. But there is, you have to admit one thing. There is some stuff that we have in common, which I love. Look at your head and look at your head and look at my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, for example.
I mean, we could be twin brothers.
So that
almost,
part
yeah.
I did good on.
Streamlining.
Good
Somebody
point.
stopped by the booth yesterday and asked if Achim was Woody.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
actually
awesome.
pretty funny.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I say yes.
Just say yes. But I'm an explorer at his level.
Yes.
Okay, all right. No, but that's a great point. I love that, what you just said. Okay.
What I
now we
also
need
like a
cable
lot is this is a small bolt snap. So I always hear people like, oh yeah, you need a bigger bolt snap and with dry gloves and you can't touch. I mean, the dry gloves are not an issue for you. But the thing is, what you manipulate is this one, and that's the same size on all of them. And then obviously, I mean, even with you don't do this, you do this, right? And when I clip this off, that's how I have it. So I actually have the hose and not the clip, and then I'm doing this. So we just get that on with some cave line, so it's fixed and stable, and it's not moving somewhere. Because
And I know you like it on cave line again because you always believe if you had to cut it off, you could cut it off.
Yes, you don't want a metal to metal connection, because actually it's a good point. I recently saw somebody that was basically putting the hose through here. So yeah, you still can cut it off, but then the second stage is gone.
So they had like a big loop in the bolt snap, and they just
and then
fit the hose
somehow
through
attached
the.
it. So you see all kind of things, but the breakaway that most people do is an O-ring combined with a zip tie, so you can rip it off, and that actually the zip tie as well as the O-ring deteriorates, UV light, etc., and then at some point it just comes off, and then like what you just used is the sliding, and then this will actually start moving down, and at some point, I mean, it's clipped off and your regulator is dangling somewhere, and that's what you don't want. You want it to be close to where it should be. So if you may hold this for a second.
Okay.
Now actually we have to use the wrong color. We don't have pink cave
That's
line.
fine.
The wrong color.
Well, in the
Well,
spirit
not for me, but I mean to be consistent.
in the spirit of being alchemized, I'm going to wear this orange. I'll always think of you when I have this in my mouth.
I love this.
Which
And for this part, instead of showing the whole like cave line process, I'm gonna put a link up here to Achim's video on how to tie a bolt snap, which is like the #1 video that people reference when they meet you here.
all
at
of DEMA, they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're the guy who taught me how to tie a bolt snap." Of
So-
all the videos.
We're gonna skip this part on purpose,
That's
so
what I
you go
accomplished in
and
the
check
diving
out
industry.
Achim's video on how to tie a bolt snap. So we'll skip this.
All right, so here we are.
My hand is right there. If it was clipped right there, to Achim's point, right, I could easily just imagine. It's probably clipped about right there. That's about where my...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, that looks nice. Look at that.
Okay.
That's nice, Achim. That's a nice...
Achim's accomplishment, lifetime award, tying knots.
You're known for this, really known. He's very known for this.
All right, so talking about the BCD, I mean, where do you put that? I mean, obviously, if you dive a backplate configuration, I like the minimalistic approach. I mean, what I don't need, I don't bring. And yes, I agree. The failure point discussion on that is useless, because yes, of course, this plastic buckle can break, but how many have you seen in recreational diving that lost their tank because the plastic buckle broke? Probably never. So that's not the big point. For me, it's just more stuff that's around, and if I want to clip, I want to have this one D-ring here and I want it at the point where it should be, like right above my shoulder, so it doesn't restrict me, and that's where the natural point where I clip, where I don't have to look at. And not all these, that's for me just additional things that I feel unnecessary, and they kind of clutter my gear. And that's what I don't like.
Don't listen.
But I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I love you.
So, but that's me. And that does not mean that doesn't work. I mean, for example, what is this?
I left that on.
If you want to save it, just take it off.
I mean,
cut it off. Rip it
I
off.
love snorkel keepers. Sometimes they're handy for
It's
holding.
a snorkel keeper.
Well,
How often do you snorkel with your scuba gear on your back?
All right, another thing gone.
Yes.
It's all gone. Everything's gone.
So now this is basically where you would put your regulator. But then again, if you have this on, this will be here, right?
Yes.
So that's not a natural. You will actually, even doing it like now, I'm missing a joint here.
That's not going to enable what you said. No, it's not going to also enable the ability to breathe it, right? I mean, well, maybe.
I'll show you something.
Maybe.
So if you close your eyes, or you just not look, and you do a natural movement, like what your arm allows you, just from the dimensions and where the joint is, that's the natural clipping position. Just try that. If you do this, you have the 90 degree, so it means that brings it right up to where it should be, right? Clip. So if you do that, that gives you a good feeling of where the D-ring should be. Now you're holding it wrong. Now, if you have a dry glove or a not fitting glove, it will be right in the gate. So what you want to do is you want to really have it like that, right? Yeah, that gives you the 90 degree angle and clip. That's the most natural way of clipping it in. And now if you wear this, it's somewhere here. So, but again, that's minor details. It's not like that it messes it up and it cannot be done, whatever.
Do you know you've been bolt snaps wrong your whole life?
No, I mean, I've been diving underwater and all these years, miracle. I'm not dead, but it's okay.
So, I could continue now with these weight pockets, because
I do think you have many times made a point, like, weight yourself properly. You can do it all from the trim pockets, and you should never have to ditch weights to get yourself to the point where you can get to the surface. And I 100% agree with that.
also for the viewers, I mean, how many dives do you have? Thousands.
But the point I made back to you, because I don't just agree. I mean, I'm scared a little bit not to, but mostly I would tell you that we're not going to undo the world in one day. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
There is going to be a lot of instructors and a lot of dive shops and a lot of agencies that are going to be like, you need to have ditchable weights. It may even be, I don't quote me then say I'm wrong, that it may even be in their standards where they have to have,
Sure.
ditchable weights. So in theory, yes, but some people are never going to get rid of their ditchable weights.
I totally agree, but just talking about what could be done to this classical recreational gear to make it more streamlined, more perfect. This is a point that I would like to talk about.
Okay.
And what's important for me that the viewers understand where the thought comes from, and that's why I was asking. You have thousands of dives.
Yes.
Me too. How many times in your diving life did you ditch weight? or
Zero.
felt like, oh God, now it would be great. No, it doesn't happen. And the reason is
never
that
happened.
you're weighted properly, and that's more than just putting a certain amount of weights on your gear. It's a matter of choice, the combination of suit, thickness, buoyancy of the suit,
Definitely.
the type of tank you use, the volume versus weight ratio of the tank. You can have I'm thinking about the metric system. I can have a 10-liter tank that is 10 kilos, which means it's a neutral tank, but it can be 14 kilos, which means it's 4 kilos negative. It's still a 10-liter tank, so the average diver will be like, oh, it's a 10-liter tank. I mean, same weighting. No, it's not. It's 4 kilo different. And that's not rocket science, but nobody's teaching it.
Yeah, well,
we're going to.
Comment below if you want to see a video about weighting and everything that Achim is talking about, because I feel like that could be its own video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like,
I just wanted to get a point that there is a logic reason behind you don't need this.
Yes.
And the main reason why I don't like him is because they clutter up your front.
They do. It's a lot of bulk right
all this
there,
stuff
for
around
sure.
here. And it also makes it a bit...
and you should know that, at least on this BC, right, these are modular. I mean, they come off. A lot of people may not realize that. I'm not promoting one BC over another, but at least with the Scuba Pro one, these don't have to be on here.
But then you lose a lot of pink.
I'll find pink somewhere.
All right, good. So what I would like you to do is like get in the BCD, because I would like to talk about the hose routing from the long hose.
All right, no problem. Let's do it. Feels good. We put the new necklace on. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, and where's my long hose? There it is.
Yeah, can you, I'll take the long hose for a second, and you just close the BCD.
There you go. See how nice this one fits me? Wait till I pull my straps down. It's really nice.
Okay, so one reason why I would prefer a backplate system over the BCD is because of the crotch strap. Because what you will always experience to a certain extent with a classical BCD
I don't have one.
is that when
Could
you're
though.
in the water, like on the surface, it will always go up a little bit, right? So it doesn't sit the same way than a harness sits. And obviously, the classical way of routing a long hose, like from its origin, would be down behind the wing, underneath the light canister, and then up across your chest, around your neck, and then going to your mouth. So the light canister is more or less gone. I mean, they're still out there, of course, but a lot of people have a light on their hand with the battery, so there's no light canister more. So you have these sticks that hold it, but that's all backplate. So here, there's basically nothing where you can put it underneath.
Well, what's
So
wrong with tucking it there?
nothing. That's what I'm just going to. So obviously you want to tug it in, and there we go. Obviously there is more stuff where this can get entangled, but you don't want to put, and that's something that you did in your video. You had like a light canister here, another sleepless night that you owe me, where you just like had it in front of you somewhere here, tucked underneath something, and I mean, it was special.
Came here from
Yeah,
Germany.
and the problem is that this makes
Hard
this
to be
one long.
optimized all in one session.
So now if you put that on here and you tug it in, now that allows you to straighten it, right? Because yeah, you don't want this to be involved, and now you can actually push it as far as possible to the side. So what I normally do is I just get my thumb in here and just push it to the side. So now we don't have a loop or anything here. It's streamlined. It goes underneath here. You're not getting entangled. You have a clean front, because if you go through something, and again, also recreational diver goes through a little
Swim through, whatever.
So, yeah, exactly. You want a clean front as much as possible. So this is on the side. And if you have that in your mouth, you also don't create a huge loop. So if you put it somewhere, if you have it somewhere here, suddenly again you have all of this, right? Because it's in a fixed position. If you would have the light canister here and it's tucked underneath, you suddenly have the loop again. So you want this tight and out of the way.
How about that?
the long hose is feeling really much better. Looks good.
Yeah, and if you look at him now, actually
Let me just stand up because
there's nothing sticking out. I mean,
Pull this
could
over
be
a little.
This could be a bit tighter
again.
here.
And when you're in a wetsuit, by the way, it will actually make it stickier.
Yes.
This is cloth. I mean,
And it's a rubber hose. It's actually way more of a pain if you're in a MyFlex or something because they're slickies. They tend to go out, right? So the rubber hose will actually make it stick better.
This would stick pretty good if it was a wetsuit.
And what's super important, if you donate now gas to me,
Pull.
let's do that again because we were stuck in the. I wouldn't make it so tight, so just let it like this. So you give that to me, and now actually you see that it pulls out. It's not stuck anywhere, it's not underneath something. You can still pull it out, and that's exactly the same like on the back plate. And even these weight pockets being there do not restrict it in any way. But if you try to like tuck it underneath here somewhere, you will always run into issues. So that's why I always recommend, if you do not have the classical setup with the light canister, just push it through there and get it to the side. That's the easiest way to store it and to get it out without getting into trouble. And that actually is a relatively clean.
And how does it look back there? Are there big loops? It would be.
No,
it would look.
it's out now.
It's out now, but it would look something like this.
No, it's actually, we had it before. I mean, if you tuck it back in.
I want to see if there are.
Yeah,
loops.
we'll do a 360 after
once
you
you have it configured. How does it look?
All right, go ahead and do a 360
how
so
does it
people
look?
can see. Clean, dude.
Would you say I'm alchemized? Ish.
Yeah.
You would wear this with pink, a little bit on you, just a little pink. I'm gonna give you a little pink at the meetup.
Okay.
I'm wearing a little orange on
Can't
my
wait
long
for it.
hose. You're gonna wear a little pink on your long hose.
Actually, could you
and
do me a favor?
is the transmitter still?
Yeah, could you do me a favor? Yeah, just, I mean, in the water, that would be more like.
Obviously, I can't read it anyway because.
Yeah, but you can see. Just could you put your hand back there?
Where's that
you see
transmitter?
that the first
Right
thing you reach is
there.
the transmitter. It's not the valve. There's no way.
Woody, do this. So put your hand behind your head, and then do this. Look at me. Push your head.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. So what you reach is the transmitter. There's no way you're gonna reach that valve.
Yeah,
So
that's bad.
that was the point that I wanted to make. So we just move this to the other side.
But
And
the idea is you should be able to put your hand behind your head, and with your head reach the tank, right?
If you
in the
sit,
water.
if you
This is
sit,
sitting
if you
too.
sit
Yeah.
down, that will be more like in the
Yeah.
water. You will be able to reach it. It's just
when I'm staying up, this shit's
yeah,
gonna pull
it
down.
goes
So
down.
let me get it from the side here.
Easy, right there. Boom, in the way. Totally.
transmitter.
Look,
Yeah.
I know. To get behind that now for me with the hose, to his point, no, by the way, no way.
And especially if you have
No
to,
chance.
like you're losing gas,
I
and
don't
you
think
can't breathe.
You would have to turn it. Not
Yeah.
only do I have to grab it, I'd have to turn it with this in the way.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
No chance. Good point. We're exactly the same. Bye, everybody.